Hi students, welcome to Accounting 1115, Computerized Accounting. In this video, we'll be going over Chapter 8, which is Budgets and Bank Reconciliation. So we are back into our sample company, which is part of the test drive. So you can click that link in Blackboard to pull up your test drive so you can practice along with me. We'll be adding budgets to create a budget. We'll be adding budget amounts to create a budget. We'll create profit and loss budget reports, and we'll reconcile a checking account and print a reconciliation report. Okay. But the first thing I'm going to do is budget create a profit and loss budget in QuickBooks and accounts. QuickBooks will possibly budget from scratch since you have no. The first thing we're going to do to create a, go ahead and go into our, and the first thing we're going to do is to tools and select budgeting. So this should be what, and so you're going to click add budget. All right, so for your budget name, you can enter anything. So for budget name, we're going to type in budget 1. All right, we're going to leave the default fiscal year. This preferred will change based on the, so I believe we started in, so you'll everything, your case number 2, 2025, your homework instructions should click the drop down menu and select the correct fiscal year. All right, so once you have name, we're going to screen, we're going to click next. Design income account, design income, type 3,000 for January in the design income. And then place your cursor over the copy across button right here for the month. So once we, seen the copy across button, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to actually start adding in more amounts. So we're going to continue following along in our textbook. And we are basically going to be putting in the amounts that is shown in figure 8.4. So we're going to go down to income accounts, and we're going to be looking for the fountain and gardening, lighting, plants and soils, sprinklers, and dip systems, installation, maintenance, repair. So we would be coming down here and putting in the amounts for all of those accounts. So we have right here the fountains and garden lighting, and the amount is soil, plants and soil also 2,000, sprinklers and drips installation 300, and then maintenance and pest control services, and we put in the amount of 100. We put in 1,000. Okay, so for each of these amounts, you just basically click in the cell and just kind of drag it. It'll work. My computer would want us to go. So I've done quite a few of these, but I want you to notice that we have certain lines that have the word total in them, and they're automatically totaling up. So as we enter more information, these lines are automatically increasing in value. So when we copy across, I want you to note those amounts. So once we get all those amounts entered, we want to save. Even if anytime there's like I said, like your computer freezes, there's a glitch, whatever, it's just always important you're not finished, because sometimes the computers can time us out. All right, entering some additional amounts. So under figure 8 points old, we'll enter 400, 100, automobile 500. Here, what else do they have as features? Equipment rental for 150. Here are also job expenses for 1,000. This, all right, job expenses for. Okay, my computer was acting very slow and sluggish, so I went ahead and entered the rest of the amounts into the budget and went ahead and hit copy across. So we can see all the amounts have entered. They've copied across all of the months in the year. They've totaled up. and we have our total. What it shows is our total net income. So it's taken what we projected our income to be, what we projected our expenses to be, and it's actually totaled up our total net income for each month based on the budget. Once everything's done, you can hit save budget amounts, and we can now view budget reports. Budget related reports. We have budget overview and budget versus actual. Versus actual will list the budget data compared to actual transactions reports. We're going to do the following. We're going to go and wait today and scroll, or you could. All right. So when you do that, click on budget overview. Okay, so here is the, so what we're going to do is we're going to click customize. Customize. All right, so once we click customize, we're going to click rows and. All right, so rows and columns. In case yours is not the book, it asks us to select accounts versus total run report. All right, so now let's go ahead and click the budget overview report and for figure 8.5. And we're going to change the month and year. So in this case is our current month and year. So you can follow along with the book example. Right? I'm going to go ahead and do what's April 1st. And then we'll go ahead and hit run report overview. So this basically is just a budget overview. You can look at the entire year, you can customize it and look at just 1 month's budget. So there's different ways you can run this report and then customize it to show you what specific data you wanted to look for. Now we could do it by clicking the customize button and changing the information on the customize button. You also see here, you have fields that you can use to also select customizations on how to look at the budget overview report in different ways. So we're going to go back to the report list as actuals. So again, so you see over budget. All right, so of the budget. That's really what that does. Expand just takes out the accounts that don't have any data in it, so that you're only looking at accounts with actual data. All right, so we're going to do it again. We'll do it for the month of April. Again, or you can click on the calendar. Just kind of want to show you 2 different ways to do that. And select accounts versus total again, dollars. Okay, we'll go ahead and click run report. What you're going to do is you're going to look at actual was for that month. If you want to, any month we want to really. I'm showing you a different way. You can. It's really just customizable however you want. In reports, when you look at actual data, if we want to do it from date, look at the whole year and click run report, and you can look at the whole year. And it gives you January versus your budget. And like I said, you can also change it to look at just 1 month. So at bank reconciliation. So good internal controls requires frequent reconciliation payments. Okay, and this is also something someone must complete, the bookkeeper responsible for maintaining the accounting record. If you are the person that, or maybe doing the bank reconciliation, the process of with those items appearing on the bank statement, deposits that appear in the checking in transit, checks that appear in the checking account. But what does this mean? So if you made a deposit of the month, so let's say it is March 31st. And you go ahead and count in QuickBooks, but it doesn't go to the bank until April 1st. That's considered a deposit in transit. You receive the money, right, to report it on your books. But it's and it's not on your bank, but it's a common occurrence, and it's so common with checks. Sometimes you'll write a check to a company, and that company as a payment that you've made. So you've already recorded it and it's cleared the bank yet. So we call that an outstanding check, and you have to account for that. In QuickBooks, you do discover a deposit recorded by the bank and not recorded. That this is a reverse situation. So now what's happened is you're seeing something that's occurred in the bank statement that's not showing up on a different type of reconciliation. That's something that needs to be corrected. That needs a correcting entry, because it shouldn't. If you have a check that cleared the bank but you have no record of that check, you need to immediately do research, make sure it's not a fraudulent situation, and then do any adjusting entries. Start by refresh. All right. And then we're going to enter tools and we're going to select reconcile records. So go ahead and click get started. Reconcile like a pro. Click maybe select which account you can put the drop down menu, etc. So we're going to go ahead. The book tells us to put in 41 cents as our ending balance and take the last day of the month. We'll just go ahead and put in March 31st and then click start reconcile. Okay, so on the screen, your 8.12 in your textbook. All right, so after a review of your company's most recent bank statement and a comparison with your company's checking account, you discover some checks and payments reported in the checking account that did not appear on the bank statement. So what are we going to do? Okay, so we're going to click on payments. We're going to come over here where it says payments. We're going to click on payments. All right, so he wants us to place a check next to Hicks Hardware. All right, so the check, we're not going to place a check mark. What is the other one? So it was 6, and the other one, so we'll check all of them. What is happening to our difference total at the top? Make note of that. To skip is check number 7. Skip that one as well. So by not, they have not cleared the bank. So after a review of the company's most recent bank, discover some deposits and other credits reported in the checking account that did to click the deposits tab. So go ahead and click the deposits tab. I recorded all the bank statement except for payment 1886 to clear the bank. So we will check everything except for that one. I'll enter tab. Obviously, I have something that did not. Your difference should show 0. If that is not the case, at your statement yet. So it says so. Next two. This is what your screen should look like. So once everything has been deselected, so once you figured out which items have not that you've recorded on your checking that have not cleared the bank statement, then now your statement ending balance and your cleared balance should equal, and you should have a $0 difference. All right, so in my first example, I still had a difference. So I had to make sure that all the items referenced in the above steps, the checks and the payments, as well as deposits and other credits, were properly checked and unchecked. So I had missed a few. So I just went back and just double checked and made sure that everything that was referenced in the book was either checked or unchecked to make sure. Once I made sure everything was properly clicked, then my 0 difference popped up, which is what you want. So once you've reconciled the checking account and the $0 difference is displayed, you can click finish now. You can also come up here and click reconciliation reports completed, and down here, you just click view report. All right, checks that are ending balance transactions. Reports, you would just probably for your homework, I believe it would basically attach as part of your homework assignment. So that is the end of the chapter. So you created a profit and loss budget as a budget versus act report, and you've reconciled your checking account. And the next chapter, that is it for this chapter. Great tips and tricks to show you to help issues with choosing the proper budget date for you to be able to. So again, thank you. And that is the end of the video.